How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Jeanne Omlor joining from Florida, United States, and she's a business growth accelerator strategist. And Janine, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs that they should follow in order to sell the first million, which is meaning getting to product market fit?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
First of all, my name is Jeanne. So people are going to think, who's Jeanne Omlor? It's just kidding. But it's Jeanne Omlor. So first of all, I just want everybody to know my name. Nice to meet you, Harry, again. So you want to have 5 steps to get to your first million. So are you talking general businesses or certain types of businesses? That's my question.
In general.
Well, I'm going to generalize then about 5 steps to get to your first million. All right. Different if somebody's like, owns a car wash, right? But let's just say that it's like consultants and online service providers and speakers and that kind of thing, right? Because again, if they're owning like, a car wash, so let's talk about specifically coaches, consultants, online service, insurance people, blah. Okay, so the first step is you must be super crystal clear about what it is you're selling. A lot of people have an idea and it's sort of half-baked and then they're out there sort of promote something, but they're not even sure. And they're like, it's the buyer's responsibility to figure out what your offer is, and it's not. People say all the time, well, they just should know what I'm doing, but you know what you're doing. Why should somebody that's going to buy from you? I give this analogy. Let's just say you're in Target or Walmart or one of those stores, okay? And you go to the sporting goods section, all right? And in the sports, so you know sporting goods. So we know it's sporting goods, all right? But then in the sporting goods box, and the box has a question mark on it, and it's sealed without knowing what's in it. No, you wouldn't. It's kind of like sporting goods, but that's almost what people are doing. Well, they know what, no, we know you're something. We know you're in the sporting goods, but we're not super clear on what. Not one person in this world is going to pick up a box that's sealed that has a question. We know it's in sporting goods and go to the checkout and pay money and then just get and see, oh, what did I get here? And that is the best analogy I've ever thought of. And it doesn't it, Harry?
100%.
Do you get what I'm saying here?
100%.
So what we need to do is we need to take whatever that is out of the box goods. We need to put it on the shelf and we need to put a label on it. I'm not saying everybody needs to say their prices up front, but in a store, we do want again, we're not going to pick it up and go buy it without knowing the price, right? Right. Eventually, when you're selling the price. And I'm always astounded when people don't give their prices when you're on a sales call. I mean, I'm astounded. Sometimes I will be on a sales call and I'll say, well, well, it depends. How much is it? Well, it depends. I said, so do I have to actually give you my credit card, the price, because then I'm going to get the credit card receipt, or I'm going to look in my, credit online and I'll see, oh, that coaching actually cost me $55,000. Know it till they ran the credit card. Again, nobody on this world, earth, is just going to say, sure, just tell me what it is after. Ever. Unless restaurant and you don't care, and I do that. Like just whatever we eat's different. We know what we're getting food. Sure, let's just get whatever we want. Different. So very important. I'm spending a lot of time on because it's so important. Very important. Also, who's buying it? Well, it needs sporting goods is in the sporting section. So we know who our niche is. Someone sporty, or buying a gift that's sporty. They're in the sporting section. So that's person as somebody that doesn't care about sports, doesn't ever work out, and doesn't know where the sporting goods section is because they've never been there. Okay, so who are for? Whatever that is. Clear. Who is and what am I offering? And do they need it? Because then there's that problem. Now you got offer, avatar, or, market. You need to make sure that they're married, because once you know you're, then, then a sporting goods person. I'm not going to put an in there. That's in the home cooking section, right? And what a lot of is they're putting cooking wear in the sporting goods section. I like my analogy because you can go far with this, can't you? Well, we know when you go far, and sometimes they don't do a good job, but normally, kind of, we know those are in the women's clothes section. We know these are in the accessories section. We know the stationaries, the home goods, cooking stuff, sports, whatever, right? So do that. Make sure that everyone knows who your market is. I clearly said I help coaches and consultants get to get high ticket clients. That's what we do. Okay. We know what we do. We know it's coaches, consultants, and online. Sometimes they get accountants or financial people here and there, or digital marketing firms. We know it works. It's social media marketing that's organic, no ads, exactly what we know our market is. So we're not reaching out to, random business people. Be targeted, right? And I know my prices. I know them. And people, damn. I don't say, well, no, there's two, there's this or this. And this is what we do. Nobody ever has to ask me twice what my prices are, because I'm transparent. So stop sneaky and weird about your prices. Okay, and trying to sneak and get people on a sales call by accident. It's called bait and switch. That's the very first thing, clarity. Second step, you need to figure out a marketing plan. A plan, man, you need a plan. Okay. And I'm not saying that your marketing plan has to be difficult. I'm not complex. I'm not saying anything about your marketing plan, actually, because my marketing plan is very simple, actually. I'm not saying it has to be anything but a plan. And could be notes written on a napkin, because let's face it, a lot of big private written on the back of a napkin. And Wall Street deals, we joke about that they're written on napkins or whatever they could find. Okay, just a plan. Again, zero judgment on what your plan has to be something that involves marketing. So what is marketing? Marketing is talking to somebody, reaching out to somebody. It could be content. Marketing is not sitting around hoping that your website is going to pull people in. The website is a calling card. Unless you have an e-commerce business, then you got to optimize. That's e-commerce, right? That's a bit different. But when people say, well, I have a website, I'm like, awesome. That is a marketing asset. And it's somewhere, unless massive SEO, it's somewhere where you send people so they can see what you do and see, like I with all my testimonials. But I would never say, oh my goodness, I have a website. Why aren't people hiring me? Because it's not really the marketing plan. A marketing asset is different from a marketing, and that's, people mix that up all the time. Now, marketing plan then involves marketing use on the plan. So, example, I'm a coach. I know what I'm doing now. I know who my market is. I know what they want. Got the price for boom. Now what do? I've got to market that. What do I need? I need a marketing plan, that sort of marketing avenue. Okay. First off. Now, marketing avenue is not a marketing plan. It's part of a marketing. There's an avenue, then you add another and another, and maybe not all at once, maybe not for years. Marketing avenue for years. That's all I had. And then I added another one. Many years later, I'd made many millions of dollars with, okay, where are we going to sell this stuff? Example is what I coach on is social media marketing, but no ads. We're getting rid of all the ads, funnels, all of that, sequences. No, I'm going to go simpler. We're just going to be on market. We're going to be on social media. We're going to post some content. That's part of your marketing plan, is some kind of content where people think you're amazing. What's going to happen, which is amazing. Okay. And that has to be good, because it can't be just vanilla wheat. Just churning the vanilla wheels of content. You got to be double fudge chunk. Like, you're different. Okay. Then you are on the social, you're on there, you post content, and then you get into conversations, you get them on a call, sales call. That is a marketing avenue. Okay. That you can do over and over again. And when you have a marketing avenue, you got to have a lot of cars driving down the avenue. So it's called an avenue. Why? Cars driving nonstop down the avenue system. Okay. Anything else is throwing mud at walls once. Okay. When you, and I call those satellite marketing efforts, and they're not bad, but you don't on satellite marketing efforts. I'll give you an example. Your business is not built because you're going to speak at somebody's event once. That's not an avenue. That is an event. It's a satellite. I love it. It's cherry on the cake, but it is not avenue. People are very confused about what an avenue is and what a system in place for steady. Then you need a system in place for a steady stream of leads that you control. It's called controlling your, well, control your own racetrack, but in a way, on some of these, you are controlling your own racetrack unless, they shut down, delete your account. You can always start another one. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about email or long game. It's great to build an email list, but honestly, it's hard to get a lot of clients on thousands and thousands and thousands. And it's a lot of work and it's good to have it. But those days are over where you just send an email and everybody goes, yes, I want to work with you. So I don't need on that. I was building my e-list and people loved it. Why aren't you emailing anymore, Jeanne? I'm like, well, any rule, I wasn't getting a lot of clients from that. They just love my emails. Okay, it's great if you're having an event or. All right, now what do we have? Clarity on what you're doing, who's your market, price. Now a marketing plan. Okay, figure it out. Now the third one, this will not surprise you. Get a coach. What you're doing, you need a coach. Now that actually should have been number one because the coach helps you with all. So it should be number one was get help with all that. And then you do that. Because I personally, coaching business 13 years ago, I immediately hired a coach. Immediately. My friend said, I said, oh, guess what? I got certified. She goes, who's your coach? I said, huh? She goes, I said, oh, I didn't waste a minute. I hired a coach that week. I thought, oh, I get it. I was missing that. Plunked down thousands of dollars because I knew I didn't want to waste a minute of my life. How to get to $1 million is to understand you can't get to $1 million dollar mindset. You can't. That's just wishful thinking. $1 million is okay. I want to make this happen. I want to get to $1 million. I'm going to need help. I'm going to hire that help. I'm going to invest in my business. And this is what the coach should be helping you with. Okay. Get help, get clear, get a marketing avenue. Okay. Fourth step, work on your every day.
Very
Every
important.
single, you do a morning mindset formula ritual and you get yourself to a state of possibility. And that's really, Harry, that was when I got online and I got
I
to my
love
first
this one.
million. I got to my first million in 17 months. It's because every single day, because we are in a state of anxiety. Oh, it's not working. And it's not like, oh, no, there's drama involved and psychodramas, and all sorts of stuff going on. Oh my gosh, client problems, you name it, you're learning. So your mind to a state of greater possibility every single day so that whatever happens in the day, you can go back to that state or off in that state. But if you start off the day defeated and negative, going to happen, it will never happen. Now, when I was not doing well, I'm going to start believing start brainwashing. Yes, I'm going to imagine the money and normalizing numbers. Okay. I think we're at number 4. What's number 5? Very important. Follow through. Follow up. People always confuse these two. Follow up is when you have a prospect, you follow up. If they want to get on a call, you follow up. They sent you a message, you follow up. Follow is following through on your promises. It's the service through. People get confused all the time with those two. They're two different things. Follow up. Yes, follow up. A lot of money is made following up and not dropping the ball. But follow through on your promises that we are going to work with you and we're going to help you do this. And you're going to get this amount of calls. Like we promise unlimited calls, unlimited coaching with us, one-on-one, follows all the group. So if somebody comes in and I say, oh no, you can't have that. That's not true because we promised unlimited. So we do give unlimited to follow through on the terms of service. You can't just say, yeah, we're going to, then you collect people's money and you don't do it because that's not ethical. Ethical, guess what? Makes you money. It's just a good thing to do. And it makes you money. Isn't that great that doing the right thing actually makes money? Because when you don't, nobody's going to want to work with you because people talk a lot. Okay. They do. the right thing. Let's face it, we all have bad clients, and you do the right thing. You're coach, and let's just be parent. We all have bad clients anyway, even if you're doing the right thing. So what if you're not doing the right thing? Oh boy, right? And I got to tell you, people that work with us, some of them are very demanding. That's okay. We're like, we promised it. We're okay, sure, really work hard, but people are fine, okay? And that's okay because you have to rise to that. You can't think that everything is going to be problemless. Every business, every day, it's called entrepreneurship. So you have to delete, let go, release all thinking that it's just going to be, might have a smooth day. That happens sometimes, you might have a smooth week, but there's, your team members and stuff and client problems, maybe lead gen stops. There's a lot. And then life problems. So when I'm an entrepreneur, it's not going to be smooth sailing ever, then you're good. But in the meantime, you're going to make millions of bucks, and that's okay because I've made millions of dollars and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not like, oh my goodness, I made millions of dollars and there were problems. Of course there were problems. That's life. When you grow up and really embrace a gritty, resilient kind of mindset, follow through, be gritty, and just deal with what happens, with the punches. So that's how you get to first million.
Well, amazing. Follow through. What a great concept. And I think that the integrity of the service is key in order to have a successful business. Because I always say in my conference, the marketing strategy have nothing to do with the quality of your product. You have a good marketing strategy, you will sell your product. The problem is that you're not going to have repeating clients because if your product is bad, if your product is bad, if you don't deliver what you promise, well, you're not going to have referrals, right? You're not going to have testimonials. The other day we were collecting, and we have internationally over 100 video testimonials from different people from part of the world about the workshop, speakers and leaders. I didn't even know that so many people were so happy to go on video and give us the feedback. Our team just came back to me and said, Harry, you won't believe we're looking in all the media, and you won't believe how many videos we have for people. I told them, okay, put them in the website. I say, I don't know how we're going to display the 100 video testimonials. Now, finally, they find a way. They put a plus sign.
No,
it will open like that. But the whole thing.
That's awesome. Congratulations. You do a good job. Yeah,
they're
McDonald's
happy.
coaching. Yeah, we're not a McDonald's. Sorry?
Yeah, they're happy. But then, Jeanne, something very important that you say that I want for our listeners to try to actually absorb this powerful concept that you just shared with us, which is follow through. Is that we have in business in general a situation where entrepreneurs out there, even in the coaching, speakers, or in any industry, most of the time we follow this situation that everybody's using 80% of the money to find strangers, bring strangers to the business to find new people. Okay. However, the people that they already bought from us, the people that already bought, that we have the relation, you already bring them in, you already took the money. Okay. Now these people are not important anymore. Let's give them kind of okay service because we already took the money, and let's take all the resources, all this money to keep looking for the strangers, which is, as you know, really expensive, a really expensive thing to do. However, if you deliver an amazing product and you follow through and you create this amazing experience for that client, you will realize that you're going to save a lot of money in marketing because that client becomes your fan. That client will bring you more people. This client will give you testimonials. This client will be your brand ambassador. All you have to do is do what you promise. So why, Jeanne, do you think that out there, or let me give me more pragmatic question so our entrepreneurs can have an idea. If I give you $100, how much of this money you will use? for marketing avenues to get strangers?
Me?
Yeah, and how much money you will use in order to build and keep the relationship and deliver an excellent product to the people that you already brought in, because you know that in the long term, that's gonna bring you more. And so,
Well, I
so
mean,
people
that's
know
the
how to manage the resources just to get
right, right. Well, this is a weird question because I have a team. So I have a team I pay and they're doing certain things for me. It's an in-house team. We just have very few people, but I get that to pay my VA, to we don't we have coaches that are on my team, but I don't need to pay them more. We're doing all dialed in. So we're dialed in. We don't need to spend on fulfillment right now because
No,
there's me. I have a head.
I'm saying about customer appreciation, about delivering this wow experience that it
Right. Well, I mean, I don't, we
big
already
time in the long
spend a
time.
lot. We already spend a lot on that. So I don't know what $100 really is. A
It's
bell and
just
a
an
whistle.
analogy. It's just an
Okay.
analogy to give
Well,
a percentage. Like, for
that
example,
people,
you will say, okay,
right.
Harry, I prefer to take out of the $100,
Yeah.
80% to getting new
Okay.
people and 20% for customer appreciation. Or,
Sure.
Harry, I want 50-50. It's
Thought
just
that way, to
your
be
opinion,
honest.
how you distribute the funds.
Okay. I don't think that way. And I'm going to change your minds. Everybody is, yes, we have a budget for investing in the business. Okay. But I just do you know what? My attitude was do whatever it takes and not, I don't look at I just think, what do my clients need? I don't care if it costs me $1,000. I don't care if it's the whole 100. It doesn't matter to me. The clients have to be served in the way we promised because that's ethics. And if I don't do that, why am I a business person at all? Because it is just about the money. And if you are not emotionally connected, your purpose of why you have the business will not be successful long term. Why? To get to the first million, you can do that on sheer adrenaline and everything. But once you get to the first million, it's hard to get to the second one because it's boring then. It's like, oh, I don't really love this. I never had that problem because I was on fire. My mission and my purpose in life is to help as many people to thrive and prosper in the next 40 years. I'm probably not going to be coaching in 40. I will still be on my mission. And the coaching is part of that. I just got goosebumps. You need to not just start a business just to make money, just to I'm going to make the money and I have to be emotionally connected to it somehow. I love helping people make money. It rocks my boat like you can't, like when my clients came the other day and said, Jeanne, I made $110,000 in the first 4 weeks working with you. Do you think that I was thrilled. She was thrilled too, by the way. But like, wow, that's my purpose, help people to thrive. So I'm on cloud nine. I want to do more of that. It's like an adrenaline junkie now. Like, let's help more of these people make all this. You have to be all in with your energy of really wanting this to work. You will not sustain it because with all the headaches of business, and there's a lot, it won't be worth it unless you're all in. And that's how I've sustained so long. We care about people
We'll be sustainable
thriving.
forever. We'll be sustainable forever. Like, we have people that when we launch new products, they already buying them, and they've been doing it for years, and that's because that relationship, that excellence in service that we providing, it gives them this loyalty. And sometimes entrepreneurs get confused in a concept which is the long-term value of a client, right? And I agree with you, 100% of the budget, no, because I need to take 20% to bring new clients, but I have a huge focus because otherwise how the new people are going to come only from referrals to be only one vehicle. However, I know people in this broadcast, they have been here, lawyers. We already interviewed 500 multimillionaires in this broadcast. And we have lawyers in this broadcast that they have said, Harry, my only source of clients are referral. And I'm like, hi, I'm like, wow, your survey is outstanding. And they say, Harry, how do you know that? Because it's the only way that you can sustain the whole business just by referral is that your service has to be outstanding, exceptional. It has to be a unique experience. And I think that
Absolutely. I
if we
agree.
focus in the experience of the client and put exactly like you said, 100% of focus and energy in what this experience will be. And I understand your point because it's true that sometimes, especially when you coach a lot of people, some of them can become difficult, right? So I coach people that that owns 300 supermarkets and have 4,000 employees. You know, so
No,
imagine how when
yeah,
you go to this person and you said, okay, let's this is the strategy. This is sometimes become challenging because they are so
right.
high.
Well,
They
the
have a
thing is,
board. They have a board that
I mean,
they respond, and
let's,
sometimes it's
right,
challenging,
right,
right? So
right.
go ahead.
Yes. No, I was going to say, I mean, people are people. And no matter
Mhm.
what the service will not, they're people. No matter what, how good you are, there's always create a problem, make a problem, complain. They're in a bad mood. I mean, let's look at every single business in the whole world. Even if your service is amazing, is difficult clients here and there. We have because they don't do the, and I don't understand why people don't do that. But it happens. It's human beings, right?
And then
So you have to,
imagine when you do an event
nothing.
that you have thousands of people listening.
Yeah,
My goodness, to keep
that's
them happy
life. It's
all. Oh my God.
never going to be smooth. Nothing is going to be complete life. And and that's the funny thing. I'll just tell you what really amuses me. We life, like you got married, marriages aren't completely smooth, not one. We
No.
know when university it's not completely smooth. We know when you get a job it's not completely smooth. We sports person it's not completely smooth. There's injuries, there's that, right? We know whatever it'll never be completely smooth, but people expect to start a business and completely smooth. Why? Is that the one thing that people just say, well, it should be any of your life running well, completely smoothly?
And the
No.
business, which is the most challenging skill that a human being, one of the most challenging skills that a human being can have. And by the way, why do you decide to be a coach? What's the story?
Well, excuse me, I was taking some water. Well, I decided to be a coach about a year ago, and I literally was newly solo parent. Here's something out that I can do from home, and I just thought, what can I do? I've always wanted to be a coach. Now would be a good time. I had to, and I thought now I should do that because it's let's face it, coaching is a very, very good business. There's not a lot of overhead. Like I'm in my home office, so I don't have to go get an office and rent and all of that stuff and equipment. And it's a pretty low head, very high profit business. It's amazing. That's why there's billions of, I think there's billions of coaches in the world. I'm not sure how many, maybe not a billion, but the
The
coaches in
demand,
the world,
yeah, and
maybe.
it's growing.
And it's a dollar industry because it's such a great thing to be a coach. You can stay at home. And because there's so many coaches, you have to be better than all the other coaches. You have to excel. You have to be better, or they're just going to go hire all the other coaches. So, really, the mindset, what you said, you can't just say, oh, I'm a coach. And no, you have to think, how can I be so much better than every other XYZ life, business, blah, speaking coach? And I've got to deliver that. And I've got to be a beast. So that people do get on a call. They're like, wow, I've never heard this before. I've never heard this kind of an offer. People say that. Never heard this before. Over and above board to make it something better that's going to work better. It's just easy. You just look at what everybody else is doing and you're just going to do better. Just do better. Not that hard. Nobody wants to do this. Not one person, not a lot of people, because all it is churning the numbers and maximizing their profits. Profits are important. Only interested in maximizing profits, you will not have a very long business.
So, what are the secrets to hire a good coach? I'm asking this question because unfortunately, we talk with a lot of entrepreneurs who want to be entrepreneurs. Most of them listen to this broadcast, and they This is what is happening out there. Sometimes the entrepreneurs, they say, okay, I need a coach, I need a mentor. And they go to social media and they find someone with a Ferrari and they say,
Has
okay, this is gonna
marketing
be my
and
mentor.
branding.
This is gonna be my mentor. They spend a lot of money. Uh, Not always, I don't know, right? But
Mhm.
maybe they have a
Almost all the
very bad,
time.
bad experience.
Mm.
And then they make an assumption that, oh, coaching and mentorship doesn't work. I spent a lot of money and I didn't get any results, any
Mm.
value. And then they
Okay.
they decide to never hire a mentor and a coach again. Whether
Right.
in this broadcast we have people that we have interviewed that have 40 exits.
No, no,
There was one guy
I
that
want to
came
speak
here.
to,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's one guy that came here that he had 40 exits.
Mhm.
Then he told me, and Harry, look, I'm in the property business now in Colorado. Really?
Mhm.
I own a multi-million pound, a multi-million
Mhm.
dollar property assets in Colorado. I said, wow, how you did that? I said, look, I didn't know anything about property when I arrived to Colorado. So guess what I did? I hired a coach, the best one, paid him a lot of money. He showed me everything, and now I build it myself. So imagine somebody have over 40 exits, someone that
Mhm.
have a deep understanding how business
Mm.
work, how to grow a
Mm.
business, how to exit a business. So on top of that, this guy is so successful. He decided that was good. He decided that was good idea if you want to be in the property business that he has never been before to hire a coach in
Oh
that
yeah.
area and pay them a lot of money. And guess what? He built a property portfolio probably now is larger than his own coach
No,
because
well, this is
about
the,
building
yeah,
business and grow, he knows very well. He just didn't know
right.
that big. So we have successful people on one hand that they understand the value and the power of coaching. Even look at you, you're doing amazing. And but when you started, the first thing that you realize is, okay, I need to have a good coach and right mentor.
Mm.
Whether we have people out there, entrepreneurs out there, that unfortunately they're taking a very poor decision, hiring the mentor and the coach, and unfortunately it doesn't work for them, and then they reject coaching and mentoring forever, and without
Mm.
knowing the big they're doing to themselves, because now they
Mm.
trial and error, and I've been there. It's expensive, it's exhausting, and sometimes you will never move from point
Mm.
A to B. Sometimes you never reach. So, what are the tips that you can share with the audience that they should be looking at in order to write no the best coach, no the whatever coach, the right coach for the for 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 for, for that person in particular, because there are
Mm.
different coaches that have different strategies. There are people here that can help people from 0 to 1 million. There are other people 1 million to 10 million. There are other people 10 million to 100 million. So
Mm.
how people can find the right mentor at the right time for them, and what's your personal point of view in the single
Mhm.
coaching and mentoring, and why do you think that we have so many people unhappy with coaching and mentoring?
Okay, so first of all, a lot of people are coaching, and they should be because there's a lot of bad coaches out there. Let's just say it. And they don't mean to be. They think they're great, and but the way they're running the business and the way to market is not ethical. And they think they are, but it's not. Lying about your services, promising, but then when people come in, disappearing on them, that's not ethical. I would never do ethical, and I would be get up every morning and look at myself in the mirror. So
And now it's worse.
there,
Now everybody writes in social media.
right. Well, this is the. It's not just a lot of people want to know the coach is doing well because they want to follow in. Okay. So, very important that I tell people I'm a multi-million dollar coach. Why? Because they're like, I want what you have. Now, if I weren't doing so well, why should they coach with me? I'm going to get you further than I got myself. Not going to happen. Not really. It could. We want to know that the person has walked the walk, and you need to walk. Now, everybody on social media, because I've been on social media, they've actually said to me, we've seen up and you report, and they believe it because they saw me start and then da da da, and they said, right now I've stopped reporting how much money I make because I don't need to. We just know $1 million coach. I have a bunch. We know nobody's questioning. I'm sick of telling people exactly what I make because after a while you don't feel the okay. You got to prove that at first. Okay, now you're looking for that, but the thing is, there are a lot of multi-million dollar that are never going to show you what they did. You go in and you think you what they did, but they actually hide it from you. One coach I worked with, great. I want to do that. Oh, I can't show you that. That's private. I said, but
Oh, wow.
I just paid you a ton of money and you're telling me,
Wow.
coach me on that system because you're keeping it from me. I thought that was normal. Oh, I figured that out. I said, I paid you to show me what out transparently. So it's kind of like this thing. We're going to help you a little bit, a lot of money because it was 35,000 for the year. We're going to take a lot of money and we're going to show you what we want to show you and keep everything secret because we don't want you to do as well. This is not ethical. Okay. Now, me personally, I show my clients everything I'm doing, even if I just figured something out a minute ago. Hey, look what I discovered because I care. Showed me, I thought, he just wanted my money and he just wanted to just take my money and just bit and throw some crumbs at me and but when I really wanted to know what really would not show me. I thought, I paid you as a coach. I'm not asking for free. I was bamboozled. I thought, what kind of an attitude is this? That's the problem.
How is that sustainable? I just still don't get it. How
I
this
guess
could be
maybe
sustainable, but
they're just happy.
We're talking about the customer experience, and because it doesn't matter any business. We talk with any entrepreneur from all sorts in this broadcast, and everybody's agree on this that it's also about the customer experience. When you lose the focus, it's have to sustain a business. It's painful. It's exhausting.
Right. So because I was higher a level than most people in that group, and thing that was more towards but he was a little threatened by me because we do the same thing. And I thought, oh, wow, you shouldn't have taken me as a client if you're threatened and you don't want to actually help me get where you are. So I was high. Okay, let's just move on. You asked me and I want to get through this. Okay, so let's just help people here on the call. When you're hiring a coach, ask them when they say, we're going to, first, promising you anything. If they say, we're going to get you to 10x, they're not allowed. You're not people a number. All you can say is, here's what our clients have done. Here's what you want. Do our best to try to get you there. Boom. Do our best because I can't control actions. I don't know if you're going to do the work. So I can't say to you, oh, I promise you. You can't anything. You can't promise anything in life. You can't promise somebody, oh yeah, we're going to get 18 months within a month. That's rubbish. That's not right. And they do it to sell people because people, well, you said it. You're not allowed to say that. So if somebody ever says, we're going to get you to X in a certain time, run. A, not compliant with the FTC, Trade Commission. 2, you can't promise that. That's unethical. And actually, I think it's at some point you're going to become illegal. So you're not allowed as a consultant or a coach to promise a number. It
depends on the effort of the person anyway. You can
it depends on the effort,
the effort and the motivation that the client have nothing to do
whether
with we're just creating a framework, right?
Right. And I'm not I'm a coach. I'm not a service provider that's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So if run because they're lying, okay, and they're just trying to get your money by a trap of, oh, you told me, and then they don't do it. Oh, you told me you were going to do it, but it actually wasn't in the contract. Said it. So what they're saying,
you have to do the due diligence, right?
No, you just the coach. What is your service? Well, this is our service here. Examples. That's great. Here's a client. They did this. Now I always say, this is a client to 110,000 in the first 4 weeks. I cannot promise that to you. And they go, okay, I cannot promise. You're not her. Maybe you don't work. I can just tell you what can happen, what's possible. And then I always say, I can't promise the same exact result because I don't have a crystal ball. And thank you for your honesty. So you really want to make sure the coach is
zero. And that is the truth. And that is actually the truth. Yeah.
Okay, I was in the middle of saying, you've got to make the coach is zero BS. None. When you
100%. And then if somebody wants to find out more about you, how people can find you, how this process works.
Okay, so simple. You just JeanneOmlor.com. That's my website. Well, actually, the website homepage is that. But if you go to jeanneomlor.com/reviews, takes you right to all the hundreds of client everything. And we ask very transparently, how did we help you? And the clients say, well, you did, because we are very transparent. And that's the other thing. If coaches are not transparent, that's a red flag. And they're umming and awing, how we do it like this. And I even show people, I pick up my whiteboard. This is what we do. So if they're umming and awing, if they're promising you a number, if they're also saying they're going to run ads for you, do not hire them. Don't do it. So that's kind of it.
Thank you so much. That has been amazing, and in my view, keep delivering excellent service. We cannot stress more in this broadcast that if you guys, even if you're in a coaching business, you're in a speaking business, you are in a retail business, in any business, uh, never lose the on the customer experience and in the client, and ask them, right? What's the experience? How how can how can we do better? Sometimes even that client can that experience to take it to the better level, they understand the care, and that's like an on top gold mine that that we really openly ask you guys to look into it, because there is a big gold mine sitting in your own business at the moment that just by focusing like you shared today, putting everything you got in that customer experience, in that journey, give everything to those clients, an amazing experience. It will pay off big time, and it will pay off forever. It doesn't matter even if you have different products. It will pay off forever. There will always be your brand ambassadors. Thank you so much, and for all of you following the broadcast, see you in our next episode of Unstoppable. How brave entrepreneurs like you break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.